Over here at Everything NYC podcast, we like to discuss different careers and the paths that you can take. And today, we're going to talk about this different career and how you can obtain it. So let's go.
All right. Well, we're here with our guest. Please introduce yourself. We'll need your name, your age, what exactly you do, and how long have you been doing it?
Okay. Hi, I'm Alisa. First off, thank you for having me. This is a great setup.
You're welcome.
So I'm Alisa. I'm a microblading artist. I also do microblading plus shading and powder brows, so ombre brows. I've been doing microblading for about 2 years now, and I'm 38.
Okay.
Okay, good.
You look fresh out the box, though. You look real clean.
Good. All right.
I was about to ask for ID real quick.
Exactly. All right, so this is good because I don't know a ton about microblading. Do you?
I don't know.
So we're going to learn a few things today. Just walk us through the beginning of the journey. Why did you get into this, and how exactly did you get into it?
Well, I've always loved like the beauty industry. I've been doing my makeup since I was like 12 years old. Okay, like this.
Since 12? Damn. Okay.
So I've always enjoyed the beauty industry. I've been doing my makeup since I was like 12 years old, all throughout high school. And then like in my early 20s, I became a professional makeup artist, working on photo shoots, short films, music videos. And I actually, it's kind of funny. It's like, so in 2020, around like April 2020, or like actually like around March 2020, right before COVID really hit, I was looking into getting my own microblading done, like on my own eyebrows, because I was just tired of doing my eyebrows every single day. So Tanny from Sway Brows, from the Beauty Angels Academy where I trained with, she was coming from LA to New York to actually hold a microblading training class. And I said, you know what? And she was looking for models. So I was like, let me, try to, I volunteer, I'll be a model and you can do my brows. It was all set up. She was supposed to do my brows like early April, maybe a week before they shut everything down. So she couldn't fly to New York. And I was like, oh crap. So I just kept following her page and I was looking into like microblading as a whole. And I was looking into other artists, but I really loved her work. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of just doing it on my own brows, why don't I actually look into doing it for other people? Because I was already a makeup artist. I already know what I'm doing as far as like, building someone's eyebrows. But let's make it, semi-permanent. So finally, everything started opening up like around 2021, like the beginning. And I signed up for her summer training class in LA, trained in LA. And yeah, so that's where the story begins.
No, that's it. Everybody has to start somewhere. So what's the requirements, and do you need like a license? Like how do you?
Yeah, so I got certified. So the training course, it's a 6-month training course, and that's where you get your certificate. Before that, before you're working on a person, you need a bloodborne pathogen certificate. So you need to take the exam to make sure, you know what you're doing hygienic wise and all that. So it's that exam, 6 months training, get your certificate to even like work on a person. And then you need the business license, but you also need a tattoo license to start. So you need it's a lot that goes into it because you need so many licenses, their certificate, and those take, they can take some time each to get.
And once you completed all of that, how was the job process?
Yes.
So during the training, so I'll explain the training. The training is mainly so for the 6 months, we'll have the assignments. It's basically you're practicing every single day on latex sheets. So you're microblading these latex sheets, following along with the pre-draw of the eyebrows, creating your own, pattern with the eyebrows, and handing in the assignment, passing or failing, whatever. And then at the end of that training course, you'll need to work on models. So that's where You can really, you really need to be completely prepared because you're actually, working on real skin instead of latex. So I had, luckily I have, good friends, good family who volunteered.
Practice,
yeah. Not even practice, because there's no practice after that. You can't practice on a person.
So they're brave.
Yeah.
They're brave.
Yeah.
I would say no.
Shout out to my very first volunteers, because I wouldn't have been able to do it because of that. Because a lot of people who get into microblading and they have to get to that part, like once they get to that part, in order to get their certificate, no one's, volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
So they fail. Like you have a certain amount of time to actually get their certificate within that training course. And if you can't get anyone to work with, then that's it. But I had a few people, so I worked on them. My first client was my niece. Hi.
Mm-hmm. A lot of shout outs.
Yeah, so she was brave enough to let me do it, and it actually came out so good. I was so proud of myself. But let me tell you, she doesn't know it. This is the first time her actually hearing it. When I had no idea. So you're not supposed to have, well, I knew this. You're not supposed to have like caffeine or anything because your hands are going to shake.
Oh, wow.
Your hands are going to shake. It needs to be steady. So freaking steady. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any caffeine. I'm ready. I'm like doing my breathing exercises. And then once I actually get on her face, I kid you not, my hand was like this.
Oh,
and
man.
I couldn't stop it. So I'm like, God damn.
I would have left. I would
if you were her or me, you would have left.
Either one.
And that's what I told her. I was like, okay, just close your eyes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes.
And as soon as you touched it, just went. It was magic.
Yeah.
But
Shout
luckily, shout out to her. Sorry. But it came out really, really well.
So what's the like step-by-step process? So they lay down, you clean, and then you get the needle, and then you just go?
Step by step. Okay.
Yeah, like break it down.
So step by step, first is a consultation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do a video consultation. I'll, get to know them over FaceTime, and they'll tell me, exactly what they're looking for. I'll gauge what type of skin they have, if it's even a candidate for microblading, because not everyone is. Yeah. So the oilier the skin naturally, the less likely it is that microblading is going to be best for you.
Oh, yeah.
So drier to normal is good. And then oilier is more so powder brows, which I also do. So I'll do the video consultation. We'll get to know each other a little bit as far as like what I do and what they're looking for. And then once we're set on that, I'll book them. They'll come in. I'll look at them face to face. And even before that, I call it pre-mapping, where I'll ask them for a photo of their brows in like natural lighting. And I'll take it to a photo editing app, and I'll actually like map it out and create a good looking brow in the photo editing app, if that makes sense.
Like a reference, basically.
Exactly. So I know what it would look like. Sometimes I'll send to them and say, hey, do you want this thickness and all that? So just, to be as well prepared as possible.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then once they come in, I'll lay them down. Obviously, I clean the brows with alcohol, and I'll map them. So I'll take a pencil and a compass and a stencil.
Compass.
Yep.
I never knew.
Not a compass like you think we call it a compass.
Yeah, okay.
And I will, I'll map it out. So it's kind of hard to explain if you don't have someone right in front of you. So here's their head. And I'll gauge the center of their brows to see where the front of their brows are supposed to hit on their face. So everyone's eyebrows are going to be completely customized to their facial features.
Okay.
And then I'll see where the arch is going to be, how long it's supposed to be. And I'll kind of like, I'll suggest a thickness, but if they want thinner or thicker, we'll talk about it. So I'll do the mapping, the first draft. I'll have them sit up. I'll perfect it a little bit. And then I take a symmetry app that I have that has helped me out tremendously, where I'll take a picture of their brows. And then in the app, it shows me exactly if it's symmetrical based on the lines that it has in the app. So this arch meets this arch. This meets this. So it's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
It's tough.
You never thought about that?
No, I never thought about it. I might consider.
Like, do I have a good brow?
Yeah.
You have such thick luscious
Oh, Jesus.
brows.
Thank you. Yeah,
I've heard luscious in the
yeah, shout out to my dad.
Yeah.
Shout out to dad.
Genetics, right?
Yeah,
Genetics.
runs on his side of the family.
Who does your facials though? Because your eyebrows, you just go in the mirror and do it yourself, or like,
I have microblading done. I have microblading as well as powder brows. So it's a combination. So it's microblading where you see the strokes, but it's also powder, which is more of like the glam look where it's completely shaded. So you don't see the hair strokes. You see more of a makeup look.
Yeah.
Microblading is you take a blade and you create each hair stroke throughout the brow based on their hair patterns, because everyone has a different hair pattern.
Different races, stuff like that.
Exactly. Some people have like straighter brows and they want an arch. So I'll create an arch for them based on their brow bones, based on, the symmetry of their face. Some people want a straighter brow. So I'll create like more of a straight brow. It really depends, personal preference, but also what I know is going to look best on their face.
And are you currently working for a spa right now?
I'm independent.
Independent?
Yeah.
Okay, get that money. Get that money.
I'm independent.
Straight to you.
Right now, I have my studio, so I got to hustle for my clients, but a lot of them are referrals from current clients. Luckily,
Yes.
if you do good work, their mom, their cousin, their sister, everyone wants to come. So that's luckily
And that's a coincidence because over here, Everything NYC podcast, we're independent too.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it's hard work.
Just so you
It's
know.
hard work.
It's hard work.
Who you telling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I've been fortunate enough. Like when I was training, like during those assignments and all that, it was every single day practicing, and I was working a 9 to 5 at the time, so it was practicing on my lunch break, practicing every 15-minute break, practicing before work, after work. It was because it looks so much easier. Like if you see a microblading video, it looks so much easier
The professionals.
than it actually is.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, this is like it's like a pen. And if you think of the size of a hair, like how thin it
fine.
is, you have to each stroke throughout the eyebrow, you have to follow that exactly, maybe like 2, 3, sometimes 4 times. Exactly. So if you follow like each, like look,
It's tough. It's tough. You can't do what you know.
they're tiny. So, and when I worked on the first, because in the training course, you can work on a model, but it's not doing a full brow. It's doing just a few strokes, like a few hair strokes. I couldn't see. Especially like your eyebrows,
eyebrow.
they're thick, but
Perfect.
some clients come in with thick eyebrows. You have to move the hair to see the thin strokes that you created and then go over those.
Detail.
Exactly. So it's actually very difficult. You need to practice.
Do you recommend starting off working in a spa before going independent?
If let's say you do know someone who is a spa owner,
Okay.
because then I would say sure. Then you can get the clients because someone goes into the spa and they want a facial, but we also have a microblading service, so it's easier to get clients. But like me, I don't know anyone close enough to me who's gonna, especially starting out before I took any clients, who's gonna be like, oh, come work for me. You need the experience first. But I wouldn't mind working in a spa, but I'd rather own my own spa.
Yeah, you want to be in charge of everything. That makes sense.
Or, or a microblading spa itself. Like specifically, yeah.
So what do you think the gender differences? Like, so suppose I'm a man and I want to be a microblader. Like, would it be any harder for me to get into that? Because I'm not sure if the clients would trust me over you doing the eyebrows and stuff like that.
I do know men in the industry, but also they've done makeup for years. They've been in the beauty industry. They're very meticulous with their hands, like how they create. So if you can't even, like, I draw and I paint, and I've done that since I was a child. So like my hand is like, it's precious to me. Like I really love creating, and it just works that way. I'm a natural artist.
Mhm.
If you're not a natural artist and you've never really had an interest in art or tried, it probably will be harder, but it depends on the person. If you're super determined and you're like, you know what, this is a lucrative business. I see like all these other people doing it. I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm sure anyone can do it. Like I said, it's practice. It's practice, practice, practice. My master trainer, Tanny, she showed us like her work starting out, and it was nothing like her work now. The lines were like, crooked and thick, and it's hard. But with practice, I think anyone can do it despite the gender.
Yeah. How often do you like get your clients? Is it like every week, every day, multiple times a day? Do they come back?
So, okay.
They have to come back.
They do. They come back. So, okay. So I'll have clients. I'll book every client every weekend. So I'll book every weekend. So far, I've booked every weekend. I recently just opened up my schedule to have weekdays as well. Certain weekdays.
High demand. I see you. High demand. You do a good job.
Oh, I am good. But yeah, so it'll be every weekend I'll have a client. Touch-ups I usually take, and I'll explain what a touch-up is. Touch-ups I usually take on Sundays, but my actual clients I'll take on Saturdays. And like I said, I just opened up my schedule to also take clients on weekdays, on certain weekdays. And the link is like in my bio to actually reserve a spot.
Did you say Instagram?
Oh, so it's my Instagram is the eyebrow doctor. So it's the letter I, and then brow doctor.
Okay.
But yeah, the link is in the bio to reserve a spot. You can also reserve a free consultation. It's just a video call where, like I said before, I just get to know what you're looking for and see what the best treatment would be for you. So I'll take clients every Saturday. New clients, and then they'll come back for a 6 to 8 week touch-up. And so this microblading treatment should last 2, maybe 3 years. So you won't have to do your brows. It's really convenient. No woman wants to spend money on makeup all the time, and they don't want to like wake up and, pretty lashes, but no eyebrows.
Yeah,
it really does affect the look of the face. So you want it to all be done when you wake up. So it should last 2 to 3 years, but I suggest yearly touch-ups for a color boost. And then the first treatment includes the, or you need to also purchase the touch-up 6 to 8 weeks. And that's where it really sets it in. That's where I'll see which strokes I'll need to go over, if any. Typically there's a few strokes that just didn't take the pigment, and that's completely normal for everyone's skin.
I think what's amazing is that you took a leap of faith, right? You could have joined a spa, but you knew that you wanted to take the independent route, which is difficult. Now, could you talk about how you built up the initial client list?
So, like I said, friends and family. My first client was my niece, my 18-year-old niece. And then my second client was a girl that I knew from high school that we always kept in touch, one of my close friends. And these are all models. Okay. So these weren't paying. They didn't pay me yet. I was making no money.
Pro bono?
Wow.
Yeah.
Pro bono.
Yeah, because in order to pass the course, you need to show that you can work on a person. So I needed people like they already knew like, hey, you're not in this yet. You haven't even gotten your certificate yet.
Prove yourself.
Yeah. So those people, I didn't charge anything. Well, just like a restocking fee, because I still need to pay for my equipment that I'm using on them. So just like a very small restocking fee. And from then I posted that work because it was good enough to post. And that's how I got my clients.
Okay. Interesting. And then how much are you charging us? How much are you charging your clients now?
So right now I looked at, in the area. So I'm in the Brooklyn area. I looked in the New York area, what the average rate for microblading plus shading and powder brows, what's going for now. And since I haven't been doing it for as long as them, I wanted to just get a little bit below. Some people charging like on the higher end, I'm not even going to say the higher end. Some people like in my area are charging just a little bit more, but I'm charging around $350, $400 for microblading plus shading.
Okay, and that takes you maybe 60 minutes to complete. How long does it take?
Great question.
That is a good question.
No, it does not take an hour. It takes about. I've gotten better. So when I first started out, and I'm sure this is with any artist, mapping what I said, how to create the perfect symmetry with the eyebrow, like actually mapping out what's best for your face. That took the longest. That could take like an hour. That could take a little bit more than an hour if a person has, I don't want to say problem brows, but if one brow is up here and one brow is down there, it's an issue, so you got to make it symmetrical.
What about like a unibrow?
Unibrow, that's no problem actually.
Okay.
Unibrow is no problem just because unless they want to keep it, then it's.
I mean, first you would just get the clippers and then just
that's
work right there.
So I would find out, do you want to keep that? And hopefully they'll say no, sorry. And I'll get to plucking or I typically use a razor to get rid of all the hairs.
That makes the most sense.
So mapping now depends on the client. Like I said, depends on what they're starting off with. If I need to correct anything, like the height of a brow or like match anything up, it could take a little bit longer. But in general, 45 minutes for mapping. And then the actual process of microblading, I've cut it down since I've gotten better and better by 2 hours. So now it takes about 2 hours to microblade and shade, where before it was taking like 4.5 to 5 hours when I just started out.
And what's the healing process? Like after you're done, you can't sweat, you can't work out, can't swim.
So I'll hand my clients, all of them get an aftercare kit, which includes wipes, an aftercare gel, Q-tips to like apply the gel, and a pamphlet and also a razor just in case they tend to like grow hair, quickly. So the pamphlet will give you all the instructions from day 1 up until day 10, which is, so day 1 is when I'm actually working on you. And I'll also explain it to every client.
So where do you want to be in the next, let's say, 4 to 5 years?
Next 4 to 5 years, I feel like I'm continuously getting better and better with microblading and shading and all that. Like, I feel like every single client, like I'm just more and more comfortable, and it feels really good. So I want to continue with that, obviously, because I do love it. And I do love the reactions and all that, because it's definitely like a confidence boost to a lot of women. But I do also want to take it to men as well. Okay. There are males that get their eyebrows microbladed. It's a different pattern, and it's a different course that I would take, but I am going to take that to work on male brows. But I also want to do S&P. So I want to
S&P?
Yeah, S&P, scalp micropigmentation. So anyone with alopecia, cancer patients, pattern balding, thinning hair, I want to work with them. So it's male and female that I could work with. But I started researching different academies that I could work with.
Okay.
And you could work on his eyebrows. For your first client.
My father ain't blessed me. He ain't blessed me. It's all over the place. And my skin is oily. So my skin is like naturally oily and stuff like that.
It's I mean, unless you like powdered, that's not what I consider oily.
I definitely
So then, no, this is actually normal.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah. And the famous question that we ask at Everything NYC podcast, because you said it's been going, 2 years? You said like smoothly 2 years?
Oh God.
Okay. What the main thing, the real question everybody wants to know is, what that paper looking like? That's because you looking like a lot of money right here. I've seen a lot of gold chains, the earrings, the hair, the nails, like from head to toe, everything is just on fire, lit. You got a Rolex on.
Yeah, like you got to teach us. I want to be like you.
Exactly. I need to be like you. Listen, there's a lot of single women out here. They're trying to figure out, how can I find a husband? How can I get him in?
Yeah.
I need to look like this. What that money looking like?
Yeah.
How can I make money like you? That's the famous question over here.
Yeah.
Let them know. Let them know.
Please let them know.
To just be short and sweet, it's well over 6 figures.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey.
I got to start bringing the Bible.
There we go.
Next episode, I'm bringing the Bible, because I need to pray about praying.
So I'm thinking about capacity, because you could probably do maybe 3 sessions in one day.
If it's a touch-up, I can do 3. So each one, let's say 3 hours, I would take, I was actually just talking to a client about this yesterday. I would take max 2 new clients and 1 touch-up.
Okay.
Because it's just me. If I was working in a spa and, someone else was maybe, did the mapping, if I had an assistant with that, then I could possibly take more. But right now, I'd say 2 new treatments, which take longer, and then like 1 to 2 touch-ups. Touch-ups can take like just an hour.
Okay. And then I'm also thinking about the upselling part, right? Because I remember you previously mentioned an aftercare kit. And as soon as you mentioned that, ding, it just came to my mind, oh, that's another opportunity to sell something. So now you sell this kit, could possibly be like $200-300, I'm assuming. For
So the aftercare kit it comes with the service.
Oh, wow.
It comes with the service.
Because a lot of places, they'll charge separately for like this kit.
That's not fair, because if, let's say, they can't afford that kit,
they can't get it. Like,
that work that I did is pointless.
You see, we brought someone special here.
You're a thoughtful person.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful.
Thank you.
Because some people be like, yeah, give me some bread.
No, so the aftercare kit is, it comes with it. Now, I did add on, since I am a makeup artist and I do know photographers, I added that on if you want a full-on photo shoot, if you want your makeup done afterwards to really, let's say you're doing it for a special occasion.
Okay.
I'll also add that on. So I'll do your makeup, and then I'll have a professional photographer come in, give you a whole video shoot plus photo shoot.
Okay. Wow.
And then you just have to buy your materials.
Oh yeah, I purchase all my materials. Yeah. Which, I do purchase high quality materials, obviously, because I want high quality results. So it is more expensive, but it's worth it. With low quality pigments, especially, or even blades, if you're getting like low quality, if you're kind of like, trying to take the easy route out, it's not, it's the result is not going to be what you want.
It's all worth it, because at the end of the year, you put in the taxes and you're good anyway. So it's, in my opinion, it's all worth it.
You're right.
It's all worth it. That's entrepreneurship for the people out there.
Yeah.
That's entrepreneurship.
So is there anything you know now that you wish you would have known in the beginning of it?
I think I would say I was very anxious. I probably come off very confident, right? But I was very anxious because I know myself very well. I know I want to do it, and I know I can do it. But I also know this is going to be so hard. And I do have like a lot of things that I'm juggling back then and now. So I think if I were to like tell my past self when I was just starting off, I think I would just say, relax and just keep reminding yourself, it's, just breathe. Just breathe. Your hand doesn't have to be shaky. You can just relax. You're going to do good.
Yeah. And if you could do it all over again,
I would do it 3 times over again. Yeah.
So,
I loved the training that I got. I loved the practice. Like, I love from just thinking about where I was, my first client, or even like working on the latex, like the first time I actually picked up a blade, and to now, it's incredible. Like, I've learned so much, and I'm still learning, so I love dealing with clients. I love dealing with, myself, like how I'm like preparing everything, and I still do the practice. So I would do it. I would keep doing it. I really, really enjoy what I do.
And I'm pretty sure the competition is pretty thick though in that industry. Like a lot of competition.
There's a lot of artists out there. When you said that, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go the cocky route or the humble route.
Whatever. You talk over here. Everything I see, we talk. Speak your mind.
But I do try to stay humble.
She wanted to go cocky.
Yeah, she wanted to. You say that for the Patreon, probably.
There are a lot of artists offering, microblading treatments and semi-permanent makeup, but it's really, the difference is the result. The difference is the customer service, how you're dealing with the clients from the first time that they hit you up until like weeks or even a year after you actually do the treatment. because I still keep in touch with my clients. I'll still like say, hey, how are your brows doing? Like a year later.
That's good.
So there's a lot of artists doing it. I think it's just the way we do it is very different.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that keeping in touch with people, that's the account management.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very
Yes,
important.
it's very important.
That is.
Yeah, you have to make sure, and that's where more referrals come. You have to make sure like who they're, the people that you're working on, like that work that's going out there, you have to make sure that it's top quality because their face is out there.
Yeah.
You don't know
on
who
you.
they know, know? So you have to make sure that it's up to your standard. And I have a very high standard for my work.
That's good.
Good.
That's
So
good.
a
For
year
sure.
later, if it's, if it's a little bit faded, I'll get in touch with them, tell them, hey, do you want a color boost? Which, will make their faded brows look brand new, but not since it's considered a touch-up, if it's a year later, then the price drops a little bit.
Why should they choose you?
Once they go to my page, they'll see. So my work, I think speaks for itself. It's, like I said, 100% customized to each person, which is very different from anyone else. I'm not following your natural brow shape because if your natural brow shape isn't, the best, if, like I said, if it's your natural brow is just very straight, but you want to create an arch, I'm not going to create a straight brow that you're going to have for 2 years. I'm going to create that arch. So it's customized to your preference, but also to your facial features. And also, like, I pride myself in giving each client like top tier customer service, from, gel collagen iPads to, like I said, the aftercare kits. I love my clients and I love that they love what I do, but also like, I'll give them a therapy session if they're laying down or, a blanket because they want a nap because some of them, want to do that. I value like each one of my clients because it's hard to trust someone with your face.
It is your face.
And this is something that it's not like brow tint where it's going to last a couple of weeks. It's going to be lasting you years.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that they are trusting me, and I try to show that as best as I can.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And for everyone watching and listening, we learned a few important things today. One is passion. You got to be passionate about what you're doing, because once you're passionate about it, you're going to be thinking about it all day long. All right, the entire day. 2, practice. Whether it's education or a skill, perfect your craft. Constantly take the time out to work on it. And 3 is take care of your people. Take care of your people. Take care of your people when they're with you, and take care of them when they're not with you with the key account management like we spoke about.
Yes.
So we'll get further into that in later episodes, but this has been good. We've learned a few things today.
I've learned a lot.
He's learned a lot. And thank you for joining us. And